have a brand new idea, something I want to release in the atmosphere, and I call it the relationship breadcrumbs. Relationship breadcrumbs. Look at the person next to you, touch them by their manicured hands, look in their attractive eyes, and say, relationship breadcrumbs. And look, this is something that I was thinking about after speaking with my son. I get a lot of ideas by just talking with my son. He's 17, by the way, so he's not like a little baby, and he's a part of the millennial generation. So I kind of want to leave some breadcrumbs for the millennials, for the people that's just coming on the scene. And what I mean by that is the last 20, 25 years, if you are 25 and under, you are considered a millennial. And my generation is called Generation X, and the generation before me, our parents' generation, is called, of course, the baby boomers. And so I just want to, I thought it'd be unique just to kind of, when you think of the word breadcrumbs, you think of somebody leaving like clues or leaving little tracks so that you can know the path to either get back to a place or to go to a place. And so that's what I'm calling the relationship breadcrumbs. And so this is something that you can share as parents. You can share it with your kids, or even vice versa. I think what I want to do is make this fit for everybody, no matter, regardless the generation. But yeah, this is something that I think would help people when it comes to relationships. We all are in relationships in some way, form, shape, fashion, whatever. We all function by relationships, whether it's a sibling relationship, whether it's a parent-child relationship, whether it's a teacher-student type of relationship, male-female relationship, husband-wife type of thing. Regardless of what you call it, you deal with people in some type of way. You relate to them in some type of way. And so I wanted to create something that kind of leaves some breadcrumbs for that. Specifically with this one that I'll be doing now, I'm going to focus on the male-female relationship in regards to pursuit. And what I mean by that, I was speaking with my son, and he told me about a girl he seems to be attracted to. And I use the word attracted to. And so he was asking my advice for how to, I guess, break the ice with this girl, this young lady at his school, or how to even approach her or any young female. And so I gave him a very simple answer that, he didn't really take at first. He didn't really like that answer or that advice. And I had to really break it down to him. And I realized that, that's kind of where the breadcrumbs thing comes from. I realized that, with a lot of people, especially millennials, of course, millennials think they know everything anyway. And so some things you have to, in my generation, to me, we were the why generation. Like, why do something? Your parents tell you to do something and you ask why. And sometimes your parents may not be able to answer that question right away. You do it because I told you to do it. And so with the millennials, if Generation X was the why, then millennials, they need to know why for every single thing. What's the purpose of it? Will it do? Will it benefit me? So I kind of broke down what I told him, and this is what I told him in a nutshell. I said, so I think you need to pursue being her friend. And he was like, being her friend? Like, he took it as what they call friend zone. Friend zone. Now, I don't know what you define friend zone as. Some people define it as, a zone where you will get nowhere romantically with that person. You're just in a friend zone. Nobody is it's not gonna go further than that. And he didn't, when I said become her friend, he automatically thought like, no, I don't want to be her friend. I'm already her friend. And I was like, you already her friend. So I started asking some basic questions. So, maybe not basic at first, but I said, so what does she like to do? What's her goal path in life at the moment? What does she want to do after high school? He didn't know the answer to that. I said, okay, cool, no problem. what are some things that she doesn't like? What turns her off, to maybe a person or whatever? He didn't know. And so my wife asked him a basic question like, what's her favorite food? He didn't know. What's her favorite color? Didn't know. And so I asked another question that may not be so basic and you probably don't want to ask straight up, but he told me that this was his friend already. So I said, what does she aspire to? What's her biggest secret, as far as like what won't she share with the general public, but like with maybe a small, close people? He didn't know. So I was like, son, you said you're her friend, but you're not really her friend yet. I said, that should be your pursuit. You should be trying to pursue friendship. Now, there are many different levels to friendship, and I think this is the part that he didn't understand. He only knew from the culturalistic view of friendship and what they tell him and what movies may come, and friend zone is not the place, when a brother is pursuing, a male is pursuing a female, they do not want to end up in the friend zone. And I had to reverse that logic for him so that he can understand. I'm married, by the way, and yeah, I'm married, and I'm still trying to make it to that ultimate level of friend with my wife. Now, what do I mean by that? Meaning, so some people may think that, didn't she have to be your friend first before you got married? The answer is no. Or the answer is, my answer would be, it's partially true, but not fully true. Meaning, I knew her to a certain degree, but I didn't know her to the extent I know her now, and I still don't know her to the extent that I will know her in another 10 years. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, for life, I'm going to get to be learning small little intricate details of my wife, and vice versa. She'll be getting to learn small little details of me as her husband. And so that's my pursuit. We're already married, so there's no higher peak with that. I'm married to her. I'm already her husband, so I can't get any higher. But with the friendship thing, it can go higher and higher and higher. So I look at ultimate friendship being over marriage. And I just do a quick pause just to kind of snatch your attention on that statement, because that seems like a weird statement to make. Shouldn't marriage be the highest? No, marriage is honorable. The office of marriage, the office of it, right? The institution of it is honorable, right, in God's sight. The marriage bed is undefiled. We read scriptures like that. But I tell you, the institution of it is perfect until we get into it. We as humans, we get into it with our flawed self, with our unperfect, with our all the things that we come baggage with. Let me ask you a question. If you knew everything that you know about yourself, right? All your intricate secrets about yourself, the things that you don't want anybody to know, would you marry you? Gotcha. That's my point. No one divulges information like that. I mean, the deep secrets about yourself to a person before you get married. You might reveal some things, right, to them. And of course, you got your necessary things that you need to reveal, but certain things that's really deep in there that you know about yourself, nah, that's not for the public. That's not even for this person yet, because you're still earning trust with a person. So you can marry a person and still not be at the ultimate level of friendship. And that's my pursuit. I'm trying to get to that ultimate level. And of course, that's a lifetime. You're going to always, be with learning your spouse and, and things like that. But that's what I was telling my son, like, just pursue to be a friend right now. Like the time will come where when it's an avenue for romance. Let me say something about romance, and I'm going to cut it off. Most people live, right? First of all, we live by our five senses. Mostly, we are led by that, right? And we shouldn't let the five senses lead us and help make our decisions, of course. But you experience life here on Earth through your five senses, and so what we touch, taste, see, what we hear, and what we smell, and those things. And so most people approach a relationship just like that, through the five senses only. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. I'm just saying if that's your only basis, you lock out logic and reason, right? You know, just because how a person may look. Now, I asked my son, what do you like about the girl? What makes you have this crush or attraction to her? You know, he likes the way her face looks, you know. I guess she's easy on the eyes. Can't blame him for that, right? And he also mentioned that, you know, she has a nice body. I guess whatever that means. I guess the clothing that she wears may reveal, you know, her body shape. You know, and of course, being males, you know, males are attracted to beauty, and whatever beauty is defined to that person. Maybe the shape of a woman's body. It could be mixed up with puberty. You know, he is 17, and maybe also just things that's easy on the eyes. That, you know, males, and that's why you find it sometimes. You know, ladies, you may be in a relationship with a guy, and let's say another attractive woman walks by, the fella has a hard time not looking. Like he just gotta take a quick peek, right? Just for a second, just to admire, because guys admire a lot beauty. I mean, and it's not just for like women, you know, they do it, you know, for the vehicles, for cars. We do it for cars and just different things. You know, I like the way this looks, you know, and because it gives us a feeling. Because remember I said most people live by their five senses, and that's dangerous when that's all you have, because sometimes what feels good is not really good for you, or what feels good may not be right. It may not be the right thing to do, and in cases like that, you're gonna have to have some way to reject your feelings and say, take the back seat, and let me let reason and logic drive this thing called life at the moment. And so I know for my son, and probably for a lot of teenagers, and probably for just a lot of people in general, they approach relationships with a male and female like that, just feelings only. And I say, and I would stress in this series that I'm going to do, that it's not feelings. You know, you shouldn't go 100% by feelings alone. But that's what he liked on her body shape and the way she dressed, and I guess characters in her facial features. But I was saying, look, you know, what kind of person is she? What's her personality like? Because that's important, you know. What's her character like? You know, how is she? You know, have you observed her under some pressure, maybe? Now, these may be some more advanced questions that you may ask, because especially when you're trying to pursue a relationship in that regard, when you're trying to, I'll just make it simple, like you want to date a person, or you know, what's the reason? You want to get married at some point. Now, I'm not encouraging my son to try to look for a wife at this moment, but I'm trying to give him the tools that he would need in life. At this point, he doesn't need a wife. You know, he needs to focus on him, who he is, you know, and what God called him to be, and how to live this life, and take care of himself, and, you know, just be a law-abiding citizen. And when I say law, I'm talking kingdom law, as well as societal law. But, you know, what do you think about that? You know, that's just my small tidbit, my small approach to just, you know, relationships or whatever. But I'd like to hear some, you know, feedback on that, and maybe some questions too, because I want to, you know, questions drive me, you know, to do different. It takes us deeper. And so if you ask the questions, you know, hey, maybe we can divulge in some deeper thought and deeper perspectives on that. I also like to bring some people on, you know, as you know, I build this thing up, bring some people on and have some dialogue, and we can have some interesting topics dealing with the relationship. So let me know what you think. You know, just comment, subscribe to the channel, my YouTube channel, and, you know, just keep in touch. Let's grow some thought together. Let's grow thought together, and get some perspectives, maybe from a different place. All right, cool.